Hi everyone, I'm FM Greeno. Welcome along to day 20 of Help Will Come Tomorrow, the survival game set in 1917 Siberia, where the four guys you see sat around an out fire are trying to survive after a train wreck where some rebels attack the train they were travelling on. They've been hiding out for almost 3 weeks in the forest now, trying to keep away from the renegades, who are hot on their tail. So things are getting pretty difficult. Let's get into the day. Over the last couple of days, we've been set a bunch of tasks here that we've been trying to complete to flush the renegades out a little bit and to try and cause them some harm. So we're going to check how that's been going today. As part of that, unfortunately, a couple of the guys have got into a spot of bother. So we've got frostbite from Sir Edward Grey and from Dimitri here. There's a bit of fatigue kicking in. I don't think people are sleeping quite so well because obviously the renegades are on people's backs and what have you. So yeah, it's starting to get a little bit tricky. It doesn't help that we've had 3 days with no fire to try and hide away from the renegades, which means we haven't been able to cook any food. That normally takes care of people's hunger and warms them up a little bit. So, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. So I'm hoping it's not going to be too long before we can start doing a little bit more culinary activity. So we got a few things we need to sort out around the camp. But before we do that, let's just take a little look over here at the expedition. So you can see here, we have set these kind of traps up here. Or I think we've set them anyway. To try and cause some harm to the renegades in various different kind of setups. So carry out the ambush when the renegades approach the ravine. So I wonder if we need to get up to one of these spots and actually carry out the attack now. So maybe that's what we're going to try and do today. See if that actually makes a difference. So yeah, we might have to get involved a little bit today and see what happens. So maybe a couple of expeditions are required. But going back to the camp, we've got some things we need to take care of. So the first thing I really want to take care of is getting this frostbite sorted out if we can. So if we come up to the quarantine point, we have set up this this little sink thing or a little bathtub where we can make a compress for frostbites. Now, all we need for that is a rag. So we'll send Sir Edward Grey up and we'll try and heal him. Has that worked? We will soon see. So he no longer has frostbite. Okay, cool. So we'll do exactly the same for Dimitri then. He needs to come up here. We'll use another rag for that. Now, one thing we could do with doing as well is finding some string somewhere or finding some canvas to make some string. Because a lot of what we need to do now does need string and we don't have any. But okay, so that's good. So we've solved the medical issue straight away anyway. So that's a big help. Now, we've got quite a bit of hunger around. We do have some food that we can give to people. Now, can they eat raw meat? Yeah, they can eat raw meat. Oh, I don't know what's gone rotten here. I think maybe the eggs have gone bad because we didn't have the opportunity to cook them, which is a bit of a shame. We've got nothing else that's going to go off, have we? So maybe we'll give out some raw meat. So let's see what kind of impact that has on people's hunger. So Maria has a hunger of 63. And if we give her a piece of raw meat, probably wasn't a good idea. She's got indigestion, okay. But it's taken her hunger right down to 23. Now, how can we heal that? Vodka. We have got lots of vodka. So, Maria, have a little bit of vodka and your indigestion goes away. Perfect. I wonder if that took your thirst away at all as well. I don't know. We'll see. So, I think we ought to give out a little bit more meat to the other guys. Sergei, he's got indigestion now as well. And I'm sure Sir Edward Grey is also going to end up with indigestion. He isn't. He's managed to get through that, so that's good. But we can give some vodka over here to the young fella, and he's sorted out. It has actually impacted on his thirst a little bit, so that's good. Oh, and it mentioned warmer, so does that actually warm them up? So thirst and frost, a slight decrease. So maybe if we pass out some vodka. So he's a weak drinker. He's got a higher chance of getting drunk. Uh-oh. So is he drunk now? So Edward Grey, are you drunk? No, I don't. Oh, a little bit. So that does not change their morale. It just has a small chance of failure when they undertake a task. Okay. Fair enough. And how about our military buddy over here? He's okay. He's still a little bit hungry, but unfortunately you're not having anything else good to eat. You can eat all the horrible stuff. Maybe some beans. Look, we'll be kind. There we go. So we've got a bit of cold still here. A little bit of fatigue around. Young Sergei is exhausted. I mean, like properly exhausted, isn't he? Goodness me. So he's going to have a good kip today. But I think we ought to try and send an expedition out now and see if we can actually attack these renegades. I think that's probably the plan. Yeah, we'll give that a go. I think we just basically have to turn up into one of the areas where they are. Can't remember what we did here. Okay. We're going to give it a go. It might end up in horrible death, but there's only one way to find out, isn't there? So let's send the two guys. We're going to send them with a little bit of kit. I think they're going to want the bow and arrow. And I think we'll probably send the snowshoes. Anything else that's useful? The knife, maybe? We can always try and stab someone if they come near us. Yeah, I think that's it. This is a bit of a risk. I don't really know if this is what we're supposed to do, but we're going to try it. So, how do we want to approach them? Come around this way, maybe? Or go straight there? Let's go straight there. Come on. We'll have a little search while we're here. We might as well try and pick up some bits and bobs. One feather. Awesome. Okay. So, are we going to do this? It says it's risky. So, 2 shots echo in the woods, then another 2. It's the different groups of thugs telling each other to search the area. Goddamn bastards. They certainly don't lack ammunition if they can afford constantly shooting in the air. You have to estimate their numbers and find out where they are to conclude if leading the hideout and luring in the bandits is a good idea, or maybe it's best not to risk it. Both groups meet at a distance from you and loudly share their findings between them. There are both the Russian renegades, who derailed the train, and the Kunkuji, who joined them only a few days ago. Among the Russians, there's a man who knows the Manchu language well, because they communicate with ease. Unfortunately for you, you do not understand a single word. So are we going to try and lure them to the masked chasms, or wait to see what happens next? I don't know, it's risky, isn't it? But I think we need to do it. You give out a shout which catches the attention of the bandits. 2 of them detach from the group and lazily stroll in your direction. They don't look like they are looking for prey, rather they assumed it must be another renegade giving them a signal. The rest of the Russians and the Kunkuji either sits down by the fire or disappears in the grove. You're frantically trying to figure out what to do next when just suddenly Moss gives in under the weight of one of the renegades. Judging by the yelling, he must have fallen really deep. The rest of the bandits run to the ravine. The Russians are shouting, trying to save their comrade, while the Kunkuji just stand there and watch. It seems their alliance is not based on friendship. After some time, the crying from the abyss stopped, and the Russians abandoned further action. With satisfaction, you watch the 2 groups arguing and pushing each other. You wish they started fighting and killing one another, but unfortunately someone brilliantly produces a bottle of vodka and immediately they become allies again. There's nothing left here for you to do. There's too many bandits to reveal yourselves, and staying in the area means asking for trouble. The bandits won't fall asleep after just 1 bottle, and you can't understand any of the conversations in Manchurian anyway. Carefully, you retreat into the taiga. Well, we've got one of them. Look, we've killed a renegade. So that's a pretty cool thing. I'm liking that. So, I don't think it's going to make any difference if we go into this area. I think you have to wait until a renegade is actually there. Now, let's try it. Yeah. So, nothing happened while we were there. We might as well just search here. A few mushrooms, nothing particularly significant. In fact, we may as well just keep going and trying to find resources as we go. We'll take all of this. Oh, I didn't take it, you silly, silly man. Search again. Oh, annoying. Okay, let's come up here where this abandoned cottage thing is. Because there's normally something half decent up here to take. Rags. String. Awesome. We need string. Okay, so I think that's enough for now. We're going to return to the camp. So at least we figured out what we need to do. We need to, when the renegades actually hit these tiles, that's when we need to make the expedition up. And we can start taking them out one by one. They're blooming everywhere though, aren't they? Okay. Not a lot of canvas around, but there's a little bit down here. So, reasonably successful expedition, I think. And what can we actually use now and upgrade? So I wanted to make the bed as a next thing. Now, do we have enough resources to be able to do that? Let's have a look. So in terms of material, we can use the pelts for that. We certainly should have enough wood. 4 sticks. Okay, so we can send these two up here to build it. Okay, so that's going to be really helpful. We can now get 3 people resting at the same time. It's actually really started to kick in where people are struggling a little bit. So I think that's going to be a real bonus for us now. So what else can we do now? We still can't cook anything. We still can't put anything on the fire, I'm assuming, because the renegades are just too close by. Yeah. So maybe we have to try and just upgrade something or skin something or whatever. What have we got here? The traps section. Making portable snares. Okay, well I don't think that's really necessary right now. What else do we have that we can do here? Can we make any more clothes? That would come in handy, I suppose. So we could use this. And we can get Maria to come down here and she can make some more clothes. Which we can give to Sir Edward Grey, I guess, because he's the coldest. There we go. That's got to help him out a little bit. Now, what else can we do with these action points? I do wonder whether we're going to send an expedition out with these... Well, yeah, with these 2 guys, maybe. Just to see if we can find any bullets or something down by the train. I wonder if that's a good idea. So we can, I mean, we've got these bits down here where we can get to reasonably easily, I think. That's deadly there, but who knows? It might be worth a little go. So let's see if we can do that. We've got plenty of action points left. These guys really like each other. Again, we can probably take... Oh, we were going to try and make some more arrows, weren't we? So that's something for us to bear in mind if we need some action points using up at the end of the day. Actually, no, I think we'll give that to him. So you can take a sack. Don't think we need to take anything else. So, if we come round this way, search here. What have we got? Just some cigarettes. Not much use. So that's deadly there, but this is okay here. Uh-oh. What have we got here? Walking through the taiga, you're thinking about the renegades and all the pain they caused you. Why aren't they giving up and still stay in the valley? They looted so much from the wreckage, they slaughtered the crew. Smartest course of action for them would be now going away from the railroad deeper into Siberia, to Manchuria, or to one of the smaller Tayoshnik towns, where there isn't even a single gendarme. Are they intending to get rid of all the witnesses of their robbery? That's nonsense. All they have to do is shave off their beards, and none of the survivors will recognise them. Maybe they're waiting for someone. Their alliance with the Kunkuji would make sense then. Help! Please! You suddenly hear from a snowdrift. It's a person, and it's one of them. One of the bandits crawls out from the snow. His clothes are torn and he has makeshift bandages on his hands, both soaked by blackened scabs. His face, white as a corpse, can be barely seen through the bloody stuck-together hair. Who did this to you, you ask, after a moment of surprise, and make sure there's none of his comrades lurking nearby. You feel like getting rid of him there and then, but you have to use this opportunity to learn all you can. It's not easy for the renegade to speak. Wolves. Given his wounds, he's not lying. He must have had a really tough battle with the horde. Maybe he managed to scare off the beasts, or maybe he left one of his comrades to be devoured. Either way, it did him no good, because gangrene must have developed by now in his wounds, and he has slim chances of surviving. You ask a few questions about the wolves, to which he answers mostly with shaking or nodding his head. It seems the pack is not that big and moved northwest towards the river. So, and how many of you is there? Why haven't you left the valley? Or alcohol, give me something to drink, I'm cold. Let's see what else he has to say here. One of the bandits crawls out from the snow. Hang on, we've already seen that. So, all right, okay. We need to sort him out. So, are we going to give him some water and help warm up? Are we going to try and get on his good side, or no way? He'd better talk before we stop being nice. Let's take the humanitarian route, shall we? Your merciful treating of the renegade loosens up his tongue. Good work. Yegor gathered a big group of us, more than there are fingers. I cannot count, but for every Rusky, 2 or 3 Chinks joined. What's your plan? There's a train coming from the east. There are proper treasures on board there. Wasn't it enough what you've looted from our train? What use do we have of dresses, salsison, saucisson maybe that's supposed to be, and suitcases? We needed mostly ammunition from your train. The real treasures of Siberia go from east to west. If you steal gold, they'll hang you the moment you enter any city. Ha! Yegor has a plan for that too. The Chinks were recently trying to have some Tsar of theirs regain the throne. The gold was meant to go to his soldats, while we'd hide in Manchuria with a lifelong supply of opium and damsels. It was hard to believe the renegade's words at first, but a simple thug like him would not come up with such a story. It seems you're stuck with these butchers until the next train comes. The renegades will derail that one too, so your chances of rescue are getting drastically slimmer. And when's that train coming? You do not give up. It's delayed because of the frost on Amur. So maybe tomorrow, maybe not. But it did pass Nikolsk. We know because a man working there, one Pavlik Pietrovich, reports everything to us. Give me some more of that water. This is going on a while, isn't it? You bandage the thug's wounds, but you can see there's a morbid gangrene there. Without an amputation of both arms, he'll get tetanus soon. Unless he dies of hypothermia first, since his body has already stopped shivering. Yep, it's bad, I know, but it's nice to at least be able to talk to someone before the devil comes. You still have a chance to do an honourable deed. Tell us, where is your hideout? Don't go there. They'll kill you. Or we them. Ha ha! The renegade laughs, and then starts to sickly spit blood all right. Yegor usually spends the night in a cave east of the locomotive. Yura and Baldy, here you have to wait for another painful spasm to pass. Yura and Baldy are always on the lookout next to the railroad tracks in case the train comes sooner. The rest is looking for you, hunting or preparing an ambush. You try to get some more information, but the sentences he utters become unintelligible. He's saying something about his uncle who would teach him how to ride a horse, and about his auntie who would cook greasy pelmeni. Let him leave this world in peace. Okay, so we got a little bit more information out of that guy before he carked it, and we got a new task here: the lion's mouth. Do you dare to look in the hideout of the renegades? Well, that's down here. So that's where you can't see it. It's behind my head, but there's a little cave kind of area. So maybe we need to come and check that out at some point. Interesting. Okay. Well, while we're here, we're going to search and see if we find anything interesting. Nothing of any enormous consequence, but we'll take it. Now, what else do we need? So we've never been to this zone. It says it's deadly, but we seem to have survived so far. Have we got anything good? Uh-oh. So it's the hail of bullets again. Deadly was maybe right. The body acts instinctively. We're running. We're getting out of here as quick as we can. We're going to run towards the trees. So we fall. The shots stop. Blah, blah, blah. We've seen all this before. This time you've made it. The thugs have lost the track. Okay, but have we got injured in any way? Let's have a look. Get back to the camp. And see. Oh, yeah, look. Maria is a little bit injured. So we're going to have to take care of that. A lot of fatigue as well. Now, can we actually do anything about the bleeding now? For Maria. Wound cleansing, is that a good idea? No, let's see. I mean, if we come up here, she can't do anything. We know that much. So, not in the medicine section. We could put a bandage on her, I guess. Dressing for every bleeding. But we can't actually put it on her because she doesn't have any action points left. So can someone else do it? Can we just create it? Don't know. We may have just used something up pointlessly. I wonder if oh, there, look, we just put a bandage on her. That's it. That's all you need to do. And we had one already, so we've used an action point that we didn't need to. Sierra's in shock. So what can we do about shock? So it just means he loses morale while performing an action. Okay. That's not too much of a problem then. So I think for now we're just going to maybe filter some more water. I think we're probably out of water at the moment, aren't we? Almost. So let's get Sir Edward Grey to come down and do that. Filter the water. Oh, he's failed. We haven't seen anyone fail an action for a while, have we? Oh, why? Oh, it's because he's drunk, isn't it? That's why. Okay. Bless him. We gave him too much vodka, and now he can't filter the water properly. Okay. At least Dimitri's on the ball. Right, so the good thing is now, we should be able to get 3 people up here to rest. Actually, who was the tiredest? I think Sir Edward Grey's okay, and all the others need to sleep, don't they? So let's see if we can get... Yeah, look at that. 3 of them up to rest. And just leave him sat drunkenly by the fire. Bless him. Okay, so let's end the day then. We've done pretty much everything we can, I think. Let's get into the night time and see what the guys want to have a chat about today. It seems the wolves helped us to thin the ranks of the renegades, even though we didn't ask them. That's just one dead bandit, and a whole pack of wolves. I don't think this exchange is all that good for us. Stop complaining. After all, we've heard that the wolves went west. And what stops them from coming back soon? There's no shortage of bodies to gnaw in our valley. So you're right, let's be on guard. Okay. You're right. If they got that renegade, they might attack us too. We have to be on our guard. We better not be leaving the camp on our own and unarmed. Okay, well, we always go out in pairs anyway, so that's good. And that's it. That's the end of that conversation. Okay. How about a drunk tale? Presumably this will be Sir Edward. Listen, alcohol has improved my mood a bit. So I'll share a story with you, so to speak, on the subject. And it's straight from our train. But nothing about the disaster, I insist. Nothing, nothing. Well, a crippled man was with us, a veteran, well dressed. His left leg was wooden. Or the right one. Anyway, imagine that from time to time, when he thought nobody could see him, he was taking his leg off and pouring brandy from it. He drank, corked it, and put the stump on again. This is an absurd. I'm telling you the truth. After all, we have a prohibition. It's difficult to buy good alcohol legally. This old comrade found a way to turn weakness to his favour, and hid brandy where no one will look. But that's not all. Well, at one point, this man drank a little too much, and confused stations. A bit after Omsk, he suddenly jumped up, having put on a prosthesis before, of course, and limped out of the car. We left with his luggage. Well, I hope that the train staff found out about it, and somehow sorted it out. I say, it's not the end of the story. Well, exactly at the next station, and it was Novonikolaevsk, the same man got on the train as if nothing had happened. He said he had confused the stations, and would still travel a bit. Impossible! The same man got back on our train at the next station? Doesn't really sound very likely, does it? It's hard to confuse someone so characteristic with someone else. In that case, I know the solution to this riddle. He wasn't drunk then, but you were. Maybe that's what it was. Well, you know Sir Edward Grey is not very good at taking his drink. So it could well be that he had a drop on board. So let's see how everyone ends up today. Hopefully, everyone will still have all of their action points. It's getting a little bit trickier to keep everyone's morale high with all the cold and all the renegades around and a bit of hunger and that. But we've managed it. 3 action points for everyone for tomorrow. Let's just see if any terrible fates have befallen the camp. Looks like it could be falling icicles this time. At night there was a terrible frost, and as soon as the wind blew in the morning, the trees began to bombard you with heavy icicles. This damn thing is so dangerous. One of you miraculously avoided being hit in the eye. Protect yourself under the branches and wait for this attack of Mother Nature until finally the trees have nothing more to throw at you. Good Lord. And we still have the renegades nearby, so we still can't light the fire. We've got heavy snow. Wow. It is not a lot of fun out there at the moment, I don't suppose, for these guys. Bless them. But, yeah, we'll have to see if we can lure a few more of the renegades away to their death, and hopefully the situation will improve a little bit. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. A fairly eventful one, I think. Yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please drop a like on there for me. And if you've got any comments about this episode or the series as a whole so far, I would love to see them below. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Come and hop on the Greeno bus. There is plenty of room for you all. It just remains for me to thank you for watching, and I will see you soon for some more action here in Siberia, and help will come tomorrow. Bye for now.